Okay, all right. First thing I'd like to do is address the Anthony Swain injury that's gathered a lot of attention. At the time, I did not see it happen, but after watching the TV copy, I can see why people question it. I've coached for 23 years, and I've never told any player to fake an injury. And I'll promise you this, moving forward, there'll be no questionable issues like that again. That's all I'm going to say about it, and now I'm going to talk Tennessee. Playing a very solid team. This group has been very good at home. Beat a very good South Carolina team. Took Georgia overtime. Had a chance to win that game, and they got some young talent and a very good coaching staff. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
Questions?
Coach, how critical is it for you guys? I mean, they got a young quarterback to make him uncomfortable, even though he is playing at home.
Yeah, he is playing at home. He's got some experience. That will be our challenge to try to keep him off balance. He's a very talented young man. He can throw it. He can run it. He presents, dual threat challenge.
Coach, a lot of people say that Tennessee's strength is their O-line. Alabama's coach Nick Saban even said it's one of the best O-lines they faced this year. Obviously, a lot of strength, a lot of experience. What do you see when you look at their O-line?
Yeah, I'll agree with that. It is one of the better offensive lines that we played. They're a veteran group. They're big. They're physical, and I think they're very talented.
What do you make of just Tennessee playing so well at home this year and struggling on the road?
That's a good question. I know they got a young team. You can see they're very comfortable at home. They got a great place to play and crowd and everything that goes with that.
Does it make it difficult preparing for their quarterback, knowing you only really got one game film on them and they were playing from behind there to throw the ball a lot?
Well, I mean, this time of year, yeah, you just, you do the best you can. You do your homework on who's ever playing and try to predict, how they're going to attack you.
Yes, you said this past game was going to be focused on the run as much as it was, that you felt that you could definitely do some work there. This is a team that also statistically is not doing very well against the run. As you prepare for this, do you look at this game similarly to Arkansas, that you can run the ball?
Well, I mean, that's where it's got to start with us. I mean, we've got to establish the run, kind of like Coach Lashley said the other night, that the way the game unfolded last week was pretty unique. Didn't have a lot of snaps, but we were running the football. We got a lead. Our quarterback really didn't practice that much during the week, and it was his shoulder we were a little worried about. And the run was working, but we definitely need to establish the run. But obviously, you've got to be balanced. You got to be able to take, what the defense gives you.
Coach, can you talk about, I think you mentioned last week with the Mississippi State game early in the year. How big was that game and what did it do for the team going forward?
That was a huge win. I mean, and like I've said before, it's kind of the way we won that game. We were able to come back. There was a lot of pressure on our kids at home, and I think our crowd was still trying to figure out who we were as a team. And I think that gave everybody a good shot in the arm moving forward.
Could you talk about kind of how Trey has played? Obviously, 32 carries. Instead of usually you spread the carries around, but he was kind of the workhorse last week.
Yeah, he's really coming on. He wanted the ball the other night. You could tell that he was really explosive. He was breaking tackles, and he's a veteran guy and was wanting the football, and we just kept giving it to him. Moving forward, I mean, we'll spread the ball around. We've got two very talented other running backs, but he was hot, and that's what we go with.
Going forward, do you at all, is there any concern with this lack of game reps Nick has had passing the ball at attempts? I think he's had 49 in the last 5 games. Obviously injuries had a factor in that.
Yeah.
But any concern there?
Well, I mean, all you can do is, especially if you got a guy that didn't go through spring, is you got to prepare him in practice, and we got a lot of confidence in him. I mean, he can throw the football. We feel like he's improved. It's just last week was so unique, the fact that he didn't practice. And, from a quarterback, you need reps. I mean, you need reps. And, but no, to answer your question, I'm not that concerned about game reps. We're getting plenty of practice. And there'll be a time, that we'll need to throw the football. We know that. And, but we got a lot of confidence in him. there's no doubt about that. I mean, just for the fact that, you know, they're able to beat a South Carolina team and, had a chance to beat Georgia, both at home. And of course, that's what I'm looking at. You know, they're a different team at home, and we know we're gonna get their best. We gotta keep improving. We gotta play better than we did last week. They do have some talented players, and, they got a very solid coaching staff that's good at what they do.
I posted, we just seen the full plan for what Jeremy can do in the offense, because I know the two games, other than his start and coming in for Nick, he had just 3 plays against A&M,
Yeah.
3 plays this past week, so I know the plays was part of that, but just, are we close to seeing what the plan is?
Well, I'll tell you that, I mean, Jeremy was prepared to start the game. He had a great week of practice. We had a lot of confidence in him, and I was very proud of him. It's hard to come in a game and throw the football. He's done it 2 weeks in a row, and he completed both of them, and that says a lot about him. Played 3 plays, came out, he had a great attitude. We got a lot of confidence in him, and if he's called upon, we feel like he can run our entire offense.
What's the confidence like of this team? I know you have to kind of manage that where it doesn't get too high, but it seems like it's growing every week with every win.
Well, I think anytime you're successful, you're gonna be more confident, but I really feel like this team's grounded. I mean, they bought into taking it one game at a time. I don't hear anybody talking about anything looking forward. That's a lot of maturity, you know, from our older guys as far as leadership. So they've done a very good job in that area.
Questions? Yeah, Gus, the speed sweep used to be a really big deal. You know, Ontario used to do that. We haven't seen that much anymore. Is it just kind of run its course as a strategy, or you just don't feel like personnel?
Well, I think that there'll be a time that'll come into play. It's all about what a defense gives you. And, you know, as a play caller, you've got to take what they give you. You know, that's still a part of our offense. And, you know, hopefully there'll be a time this year that'll be, you know, a little more effective. We've had some big plays, you know, in that, but, you know, certain teams take certain things away.
You guys have started pretty fast on offense in most games. Does that just go back to your coaching staff's preparation for teams, or teams aren't throwing a whole bunch of wrinkles at you, or?
You know, I think first any game, you're trying to gather information of how they're playing you. Our guys have just done a good job executing, and that's really helped us. You know, anytime you can put points on the board early, you know, that gives you a lot of confidence moving forward, and hopefully we'll continue to do that.
Do you expect Nick to be able to get back into normal amount of reps and everything starting today?
That's what we're hoping.
Guys, Coach Stein made some comments yesterday, reportedly called it he said 2 quarterbacks last year, although obviously there were 3. He said 2 of the quarterbacks were cowards. Just what was your reaction to some of those comments?
Well, I mean, of course, I recruited, you know, all the quarterbacks here, and they're nothing but champions, and I'm proud of you guys.
Anything else?